Moving on, it's here. What a long time ago. That's right, ladies and gents. We're going to be talking about prequel versus original. Yes, people have so many complaints about the prequels and they praise the original for all its greatness, unless it's the digital remastered with all the crap that they didn't want. So, I'm here to tell you that, bottom line, they're the same movie. In and out. You want to critique it, you critique the original the same way you critique the prequel. I'm sorry. The prequel holds up a little bit better than the original. Here we go. Story for the pros. Alright, prequel. The characters emoted better. You felt that they were going through something. You felt that they were giving you real emotions. There was a mythos. You learned about the Jedi and the Sith. Palpatine told him that in the Opera House scene. It's great. You have a mythos. You have an idea of what is going on in the universe of Star Wars. Good versus evil. Good versus evil was poignant in that movie. You saw the good guys, who you thought were really, really good, and then you saw the evil guys, who were really, really evil, but then you started wondering, well, maybe the evil guys aren't as evil, and maybe the good guys aren't as good. That was great. A well-written story. The story was great. It was a well-written story. It was well-written. Sorry. For the original. The original, yes, it had the good versus evil, but their good versus evil was, I want to say, Power Ranger-ish, where you know that these kids are the good guys, and then they're going to change and get powers, and then they're going to fight these super, 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 super bad guys. But then, once they have the powers, the bad guys are kicked, and then it's done. Roll credits. I mean, that's kind of how it was. Darth Vader was made to seem like he was this immovable force, and then by the end of it, he was a quivering little bitch. Yeah, that's villain decay. Yeah, original had villain decay. So, and also pro, the anti-hero and the buddy treatment. Han and Chewie. And if you want to go farther, you can say C-3PO and R2-D2. You know? Cons. Too much dialogue. Granted, the story was great and the characters emoted, there was too much dialogue. It was almost like watching C-SPAN. That's basically what it was. Star Wars / C-SPAN. And you can't do that with something that's supposed to move in a good way. You just can't. I mean, you can have a scene, but you should only make that scene maybe 2 minutes top, and 2 minutes will feel like 20, I promise you. But they kind of went on with like 5 to 10 minutes of this whole Senate thing, and it kind of dragged. Right? Didn't need Anakin's childhood story. Just didn't. Sorry. It was a marketing tool. It was like, hey, let's sell some stuff. And let's do all this stuff to sell, because we got this little kid in the movie, and then little kids will want to buy whatever the hell he's doing. Well, what you did was mess up the story. If you would have just got the Tatooine, met with the boy, and the boy could have been about to do a pod race, that would have made the story move a whole lot smoother. The digital sets, okay, I'll admit, the digital sets were weak. You could tell that everything was just so computer generated that it didn't feel real. And you can say that it took you out of it and all that, but did it take you out of Avatar? I mean, that shit was practically 95% CG. So, I mean, how did that not take you out? And that's the #1 grossing film of all time. The original cons, the pacing, just like the prequels, the pacing was just atrocious, especially for the first one and the third one. The second one had better pacing, and that's why everybody likes that one a whole lot more. Luke becoming a Jedi. As far as the story goes, Luke has the hero's journey. That's the main thing that anybody can say that they love about Star Wars, the original, is that they love the hero's journey tale about it. But after his death at the end of episode, 5? Yeah. Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, when his hand is cut off and he gets this revelation that his father is dead. I mean, his father is Darth Vader. You know, he goes and he was about to die. So his rebirth was Return of the Jedi, where he comes back all black suited and with a new lightsaber. But they didn't show his metamorphosis. They didn't show the rebirth. It was just, it was like it already had happened, like 2 weeks prior to Return of the Jedi starting. That kind of took away from it. You know, he just comes back and he's just like, I'm a Jedi. Like, really? Like, you're a Jedi. Okay, so like, did you just go to Walmart, pick up some clothes, and now you're a Jedi? No. The Death Star. People, come on. That was the easiest kill out of... It was just too easy. You have this colossal entity that can destroy anything, but then all you have to do is just fly down this little corridor and shoot 2 beams at it, and then it's done, and you do it twice. Characters. Alright, pros for the characters. The prequels. Ewan McGregor. Plus Palpatine. Palpatine was killing it in these movies. We shall destroy all of the Jedi. I mean, come on. There were more planets. There were more planets, which means more creatures, which means you saw what the Empire took, which made it look so dystopian in the originals. Jango Fett. Jango motherfucking Fett was better than Boba Fett. Hands down. I don't know why everybody rides Boba Fett's dick, but Boba Fett isn't shit. I'm sorry. He was in there for, what, maybe 30 minutes in the whole original trilogy, and he didn't do anything but, yes, Lord Vader. Okay, Lord Vader. I'm taking him to Jabba Vader. That was it. And then he gets thrown with a Wilhelm scream. Seriously? This is what everybody loves about Boba Fett? Why? The originals. So the original, Luke was a decent character. You know, he was almost well-rounded. Han, same way. Chewie and R2-D2, same way. Those 4 characters were the only ones that I saw that had semi-development. Just semi-development. Whereas the prequels, they all had development. I'm sorry, they all went through something, grew, changed, and then developed. The cons for characters. Okay. Hayden Christensen's dialogue was very poor, but that's because of direction. He didn't know what to emote, so he sounded like a whiny, crying little girl. Instead, what he was supposed to be was this self-contained, angry monster. Because if you look at his facial expressions, he was badass. Revenge of the Sith, all his facial expressions, I was like, this dude is Vader. Just don't talk. This guy is Vader. So if his face can do a range, so can his voice. But he wasn't given that direction. He was probably just told, be sad, be this way. And he kind of came off as cry and whiny. Natalie Portman kind of phoned it in towards the second and the third film. You can just tell that she was just like saying the lines and just trying to get through the day. You can really see it. And it's really sad because she's a great actress too. And that itself was probably the set. It didn't feel real. It wasn't practical. Everything was behind a green screen. You're just imagining that it was there. But like the other video I had seen, if you look at the silent moments, there's just so much going on. Ewan's hair.
What is this? No. What is that? No.
Jar Jar Binks. No! Exactly how I felt. No. Take it out. What would have made that a whole lot better would have been this. No sound. Then you felt it. You can feel it more. You're dumbing it down for everybody, and that just, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the movie at all. The originals, the stormtroopers can't hit worth a damn. Stormtroopers are the worst military ever possible. Alright, Darth Vader wasn't all that. He just wasn't all that. The first movie, yes, okay, yes, he came on the scene and was like, oh snap, who's this guy? But then by the second movie, you were just like, okay, he's the bad guy. So then, like, what's he doing? He kind of seemed like a Bond villain, you know, a Bond villain that knew how to fence. Alright, Luke, character-wise, he didn't emote when his uncle and aunt died. He just looked and was like, oh. That sucks. So where are you going? You know? He finds out his sister was the girl he just kissed. Oh. Okay. My father died too? Wow. What is that? Boba Fett, like I said, wasn't worth a damn. I'm sorry, he was not the biggest, baddest, loved. I don't know why. I don't know why. He doesn't do anything. His presence was like second-rate Vader. And I'm sorry, that's not a good reason to say that this person is the best or the baddest. You know what I'm saying? No. It's just not. Sociopath Luke, you know what I'm saying? The deadpan Vader. You know, I loved all the characters. I love all the actors involved. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a Rick Olay. They didn't even know what the fuck was going on when they started the originals. And for you to say that is quintessentially great and can't be surpassed or touched, you're just being ignorant. And you are so caught up in something that you don't have the ability to adapt and grow as a person. And that is sad, because you always need to grow. I love plenty of things from my childhood, but I can still look back on it and say, okay, this wasn't as crazy or good as I remember it, but I can still love it. In the prequels, they're not giving it its creative bliss because it's there and it's better than the original. I'm sorry. The only complaints you can really legitimately put on the prequels are Jar Jar Binks, the lack of practical sets, and the dialogue, subpar. But you can say the same three things for the original, minus Jar Jar, the sets, the dialogue. I mean, it's all there, people. You're just not looking at it because you got your mouth around the original stick. It's okay. Let it go. Let it go. You just have to take off your bias, your judgment. You know, look what you did to this kid. Look at this kid. You did this with your fucking rants and raves and hating. What kind of people are you? You are asses. Ass hats. Before I leave you, I just want to say they let an Israel spy loose that they've been holding for 30 years. Cats and kittens. That's all for today. So, I'm back.